For most of Irvine, the housing market started 2025 about as slow as it could. January and February both saw the lowest amount of detached single-family home sales in over 15 years, and overall housing demand levels are still hanging right near historic lows. However, this slow start was not consistent all across of Irvine's premier gated communities. So let's take a look to see who sprinted through Q1 and who is still at the starting line stretching. Starting with Altair, where the overarching theme of historically low sales volume was definitely felt. Throughout Q1, we only saw a single Lennar-built home sell, which was way down from the 8 sales we saw in Q4 of last year. 2 Toll Brothers homes managed to find the right buyers in Q1, which was actually an improvement from the surprisingly goose egg total sales in Q4. Although these data points are pretty limited, we did see the average price per square foot increase in Q1 for both sections of this community. Down the street at Orchard Hills, it was a shockingly slow quarter with only 11 homes sold. And that's way down from the 23 sold in Q4 and a much slower start compared to the 37 sold in Q1 of last year. And most of the slowdown comes from the non-Toll Brothers section of the community, which makes up 90% of the area. In the Toll Brothers section, we actually saw 2 homes sell, marking the first closed Toll Brothers homes in Orchard Hills since August of last year when 110 Nest Pines sold. This lack of sales led the non-Toll Brothers section's average price per square foot to decline for the second quarter in a row, landing at $1,038 per square foot. While the graph may suggest a big drop in pricing for the Toll Brothers section, keep in mind that that last data point was based on the record-breaking sale of 110 Nest Pine. Heading south to Hidden Canyon and Laguna Altera, where the trend of sluggish sales did not continue. 4 homes sold in Hidden Canyon during the first quarter, marking the most amount of quarterly sales in over a year. Laguna Altera kept its steady pace with 4 homes sold as well. These sales pushed both communities' average price per square foot higher and got Hidden Canyon back on track after a single distressed sale in the back half of 2024 threw my graph a little out of whack. Last, but definitely not least, Turtle Ridge and Shady Canyon had a very average and almost jog-like start to the year. 2 homes that had been patiently waiting on the market were able to find their buyer in Turtle Ridge during this first quarter, and 4 homes in Shady Canyon were able to make their way to the finish line. Looking at average price per square foot, Turtle Ridge took what looks like a significant dip, but that's tied to only one highly valued property that closed back in August of 2024. As for Shady Canyon, we saw a slight increase, with the average landing around $1,500 per square foot for the 3rd quarter in a row, cementing that this is the new going rate for this illustrious community. So with the first quarter of 2025 behind us and a mixed bag of results from Irvine's premier guard-gated communities, where do I see the market heading as we move into what is historically the busiest time of the year for Irvine's real estate market? Well, that's nearly impossible to predict, especially in this current landscape. The US stock market, mortgage rates, and global economies have had a bumpy start to Q2, to say the least. And this uncertainty does not do any favors to demand, which has been hovering near its lowest levels in 5 years for these communities. This drop in demand, paired with an increase in new listings, has actually led to supply now outweighing demand. Over the past 3 years, demand levels have continued to slightly outweigh supply, and this imbalance has been the main catalyst to this rapid increase in home values, even in the face of higher mortgage rates. However, now that this imbalance is flipping, economics suggests that we should see home prices decrease. However, it seems like Irvine, and especially its higher price point homes, have continued to defy these economic principles and almost dance to a beat of its own drum. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Will Irvine's gated communities finally have a slow Q2, or can we expect another hot and busy summer? If I don't hear from you, I look forward to getting to bring you the next quarterly market update. Cheers.